Hey y'all, I don't know. Okay, this is about All's Fair season 1, episode 6. Before we even get into the review, I don't know if I'm shocked, like shocked and appalled, or just shocked that this show has been renewed for a second season. And what's so interesting is that when you read the articles, they say critically panned. So if you already saying that the show is critically panned, like it's not good, how did it get renewed for a second season? This is when I'm gonna say that Kardashian name got this. I'm gonna say the names and the people. I feel like they probably had just a little bit more money to back it up in case they was like, you know what, they want to pull the plug, and she was like, no, this is my show, and it's gonna go. But a part of me is happy. Like, because y'all, I really want to like this show. And because I feel like it can be good. But what I will say is that I feel like because the show has been so critically panned, that they can go in completely different routes for season 2 with really fixing the writing. And it will be forgivable because it was like it was so at the bottom that there's nowhere to go but up. But to get into episode 6 review, Carr, baby girl is fucking insane. Like, girl, what? How you how you spazzing out like that? How's she gonna be telling? She gonna tell? Okay, this episode is really about the final meeting with Chase and Allura's divorce. And they want $1 million a month in alimony and half of the firm. So during the time that Carrington is getting ready with Chase, she's really like bigging him up to be really emotional, turn on the tears. Isn't that interesting? A white woman gonna tell a white man to turn on the tears because they know that tear shit work. She pretty much told him to turn on the tears and to cry first, beat Allura to crying, and then get the sympathy, and we gonna get what we want. And it's like he's kind of like, I don't know. I kind of see the way that the show is almost like trying to paint Chase as this redeemable character, but I mean, outside of him apologizing, what about him is redeemable? Like the character development is gonna have to really like take off. Even though with this episode, I would say these last 2 episodes have gotten better. And I would say mainly because these episodes are focusing on another character and not Allura's character. So, of course, we're seeing Carr meet up with Chase, and she's telling him pretty much put on the waterworks. And so at first it works. He's in there pretty much saying, Allura, I'm sorry I messed up. I really wanted the world with you and everything. And it gets to Allura. She goes to the bathroom. And of course, Dina, Glenn Close, is also her legal counsel. So she's like, pull it together. They always say lawyers make the worst, like the worst plaintiffs or whatever because they know too much. And so Allura admits to Dina that she took those eggs and she was like, I got my period. It's been 3 weeks. They didn't take. So that's another thing I'm going to tie back in. So we know technically it's been about 3 weeks. So we're going to say it's been 3 weeks since she put the eggs in. So that's also going to make me think, how long technically has it been since her and Chase actually broke up? Because I find it hard to believe that it's been like roughly a month or maybe a month or 2 and they already have got through divorce proceedings and everything. Like it has to be longer than that because Milan is showing. So how far along after all of this stuff did she do these eggs? Like the timeline is so muddy. But back to what we're talking about. She tells Dina, and Dina's like, you do know that's a felony. why didn't you? She was like, girl, pretty much like, don't bring it up. We'll figure a way to address it. So they go back in the room, and of course, Allura starts giving her part in how the dreams and everything that she wanted to have with Chase, and she kept talking about children. And I feel like that was the lead up to letting us know that Allura was just going to be straightforward. Even though she realized what she did was really wrong, she was just going to admit to it. And which she did. Well, they got her in a bind when it came up that she actually had property that she did not disclose in the prenup, because it was a pretty much property of a boarding school that her mama sent her to, as like, and she was tortured there. And her father, who was a teacher, she set up a charity in his name, and she bought that property, but that property wasn't listed in the prenup. So that kind of voids the prenup period, because they're trying to say that she didn't disclose all of her assets. So because she didn't do that, it's not a valid prenup. And of course, Carrington is just going in on those, oh, you want those eggs? Like, she's really putting it in like, you ain't gonna be a mama, and I know that's what you want, and that's all that you care about. And so Allura goes ahead and she's like, I wanted this life with you. And they're having this back and forth, this banter. And we see that, not banter, but these emotional feelings. One thing that we point out is that when Allura talks about what she went through at that boarding school, Carr starts to show like remorse towards Allura. She even says, I'm sorry that that happened to you. So she's already showing herself to like break character a little bit, and a bit like, girl, what? This is kind of out of your character. Now you want to say that you know, you feel sorry for Allura. But Allura just goes ahead and says that I might be saying this out of order, but Allura goes ahead and admits that she took those eggs. Carr, and I can't remember the other attorney's name right now, but the black lady, they are like bloodhounds when they hear this. She's like, oh, we about to get you for a felony. I'm about to take you for everything you got. And Chase is like, no, stop. I don't want to keep doing this. Because he tells, like, he's really like emotional when he finds out that Allura did take those eggs, and according to her, they didn't take. That was their last chance of having a family together or having children. And even though he knows Milan is pregnant, I guess he just really wanted to have a baby with Allura too, because he loved her so much. And you can tell that he's just more so like emotionally distraught, and he doesn't want to keep doing this fight. Whereas Carr is so ego driven. She's like, I gotta take this bitch down. She Dina ends up getting a call about her husband from from his hospice nurse. So she has to step away from the case and let Niecy Nash's character Emerald take over. Emerald took over and slam dunked that bitch. She had dirt on Carr that she wanted to present. Dina said no, because Dina feels guilty for the way that Carr behaves, because she feels as if she would have gave all of them to go together when they all branched out and want to do their new law firm, Carr wouldn't have all this anger in her. But Emerald was like, no, I'm about to stick it to this bitch. And she brings out receipts of emails of, why I keep doing this, emails of, what's his name, Chase, like fixing his games with bets. She brings up the baby he has with Milan on the way and everything. And, they kind of like, well, this is kind of superficial. Even though it does give a lot of insight, it's kind of superficial. She said something about having pictures. Carr responded, and she was like, oh, something about having pictures. You pretty much are kind of like saying, oh, you know better. You don't want your pictures on the internet, alluding to Emmy's sexual assault. And that was just so low. Just like, as a woman, you want to throw it back in her face that she was raped, and then like want to throw it in her face that, yeah, I got pictures of you when you got raped, bitch, and I'll put that out. Emma was like, okay, ho, bet. And then she played Carr's video from when she was in the car when she got arrested after that DUI, and baby girl was drunk. And when they say a drunk mind speaks a drunk speaks a sober mind, she was just like, I need a man. I want a man. Then this bitch gonna say she want a Scorpio man. Baby, you want a Scorpio man? You already struggling. You want a Scorpio man? She was like, I could have fucked my client. I could have sucked his dick. I could like. She's like, I could have fucked him and I didn't. And da 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 da. It was so embarrassing. And so she is fuming. Like you could tell she is like breaking down. And she's like, turn the video off. And Emerald's like, no, we gonna let it play out. This bitch jumps on the fucking table, gets in Allura's face screaming, I'm better than you. I'm a better lawyer than you. I'm a better mother than you. I'm a better woman than you. And your husband was fucking me. He was coming in my pussy, my mouth, and my ass. Carr. And Chase was in the back like she lying. I ain't do that. I mean, she loses her shit. Screaming at Emerald, screaming at both of them. I'm a better mother. You'll never be a mother. You'll never be a woman. Like, her partner, the black lady, has to come around on the lower side and be like, Carr, stop. And it's just like, bitch, what? This whole went ape shit. This bitch went ape shit. And now, do I feel like it's unreasonable a bit? I do, because I feel as if we understand Carr to be so crass and so like vulgar, but we still haven't gotten enough to really make us understand why she is this way. And I know they keep trying to make it seem as if Dina leaving her hurt her. And I'm not saying that it didn't, but I feel as if there already has to be something deeper and already wrong with this, wrong, but something already abused or traumatized in this woman, that it seems as if when she entrusted somebody else and they gave her any type of indication of she was going to be let down, she lashed out. Like there's something so much deeper. Like I feel as if something must have happened to Carr when she was a young girl that just taught her to be this vehement and hold all this anger, because I understand she may have been deeply hurt by Dina, Allura, all of them, but it's just the way that she comes after them. I'm like, that might be the symptom, but the cause of it is something else. And she was like, she admitted that she only put 50% of Allura's firm to ask because she just wanted to take that from her and pretty much see her crumble. And so we end the episode with, them coming to Carr, and they kind of like having their own come to Jesus moment. Like, girl, the way you acted was completely out of character. Like, we really need to get to the bottom of this, because it don't make no sense for it to carry on years and years like this. Like, you've really fucked up 2 cases. Like, bitch, you letting this fuck with your money. You let it fuck with the lady who you was crying in a meeting with when you first met. Can't remember the woman's name right now, but I'm gonna say the black lady. And then you let this destroy your case with Chase. Like, you letting this override your point to, like, it's gonna be detrimental to your livelihood. And so Emerald even extended the olive branch that, she's on the board of Benedict Hall, which is the school that Amabel, Carr's daughter, is working to get into. And she was like, they like her, but it's just so competitive. And she was like, I'm on the board, I can put in a good word for her. And so they pretty much work it out so that, whatever is reasonable, she will agree with, and it comes to the divorce. But take her law firm off the table, especially when we know you're only doing it to be vindictive. And it's just like, Carr. Now that we know it's going to be a second season, they really going to have to go hard with building these characters up, because I feel as if the show can go on. And Kim Kardashian's character did give a little bit more with emotion, Allura. Um, but I feel as if she's still going to have to come with more. It's just what pisses me off about this show is that I feel like they handle heavy topics, but then they can be so fucking superficial. Like, these are very powerful women, but it's like it's almost like y'all making it the bane of their existence that they don't have a man. And it's just kind of like this is not even relevant in today's talking points, period. And it's to be expected that these women are like career lawyer, like boom cat in the courtroom, but yet they all are just so my man, my man, my man. I need a man. I need a man. I need a man. It's just like, is this supposed to be just a show of like some really educated, hard, kick ass, career driven pick me's? Because yeah. But whoo, Carr showed her motherfucking ass this episode. And I was like, bitch, really? Yeah, you need help. You need a treatment plan. And not to like make fun, but you need intensive therapy. Cause girl, you showed your ass. You showed your ass.